Starting as a reseller is honestly the easiest part of this business. The hardest part, though, is advancing it and growing your business. Today, we're going to talk about key steps and things you need to do if you want to grow your business. Hey, it's Don. Today I wanted to talk about growing your business. One of the easiest parts is starting your business as a reseller. You just have to set up an account, you just have to figure out how to list some things and go from there. The hardest part always is going to be growing your business. Now, when you first start off, you're going to be a little slower. You're going to only be able to list so many items at a time. You may only have so many items to sell. You're going to have to learn how to source. You're going to have to learn how to get the items coming in. Once you get that flowing and once you get that going, you're going to have to figure out then the hardest part, which is figuring out how to grow it. How to grow that to a bigger and bigger business so you're more financially stable. It's fine and dandy to make a couple $1,000 a month and profit from it, but to truly make it as a full-time business is going to take a heck of a lot more than just being able to throw something up on eBay. Most people can list on eBay, or at least get the listing going and get the basics down fairly quickly. But if you really want this to be your full-time revenue, your full-time business, you're going to have to dig much deeper than that. You're going to have to figure out how to grow it. Now, when you first start off, selling 50 items a week may seem like a big goal for some folks. If you're selling 50 items a week, you probably need to list 75 or 100 bare bones minimum every week to compensate and still grow it. If you're listing 50 items and you're selling 50 items, you're not growing your business. You're not growing the potential for more and more revenue on a constant basis. Once you build up a base on eBay, a base of listings, and keep adding to that base, the amount of listings you have will obviously grow if you list more than you're selling. As they grow, those will turn into passive income. They're already up. They're already done. All the work and investment is out there, done. You have nothing more to worry about once they're basically listed. They may not sell today, just like any other item. So you've got to take that into account. Far too many people assume that I'm going to buy it, I'm going to sell it right away. Even if it's a darn good item, its rate's high, there's a lot of people looking for things or specifics that you might have found, it could still take a long time for certain items to sell regardless. If you're new and it's an expensive item, a lot of folks may not actually want to buy or take the risk, thinking it may be too good to be true. But you've got to, though, list more items than you are selling. The more you list, the more return you will have out of them. Now, this is for us as well as most people that we converse with. If I'm listing 100 items in a given time frame, I'm usually going to sell 3 to 5% of those right off the bat, very, very quickly. And if I'm, say, listing 1,000, I'm probably going to sell 30 to 50 items immediately. The more items you have up, the more revenue you will gain from them. Again, as long as they are good items. If they're not good items, it's not going to be worth you even listing. A lot of times what I see is a lot of folks will be listing a bunch of cheaper items that just aren't going to sell very readily. It'll be taking up a lot of their time. They could have listed certain items into a group, into a lot, and sold them much quicker, got the money back out of them, and then invested that back into new items. If you're new and you're just starting off, you may not have a big purchase account where you've got tons of extra money to go out and buy whatever you want, any type of merchandise you run into. So you're going to have to flip a lot of that right away to get the revenue coming back in. The better the items you get, the better you invest in research and finding some good items, the more return you will get on those. The higher your ROI will be, the return on your investment. Now, what a lot of people will also run into when trying to grow their store is that they can only get so much up, so there's no way for them by themselves to break a certain point, to break a certain barrier. You may be able to do on your own, say, $10,000, $20,000 a month in listings, and that includes you sourcing, you listing, shipping, packing, everything. You would have to do it all if it's a one-person operation. So there's only a certain point that you can get to in some cases without help. It's just not physically possible. You don't have the ability to source and list enough to keep it going. In some cases, when you hit a certain point and you're investing a lot of money in just buying merchandise too, if you're not listing and selling it quick enough, you could spend too much and not have enough to cover your expenses because you have it all invested in items that you don't have listed, or you could have bought poorly and those items may not sell readily. So you'll have a lot of money floating out there in investments into merchandise to resell, and you won't have the ability to sell it. So that leads into another area that a lot of people don't get or mess up on when they're trying to grow their business. You can't just keep going out and buying a ton of merchandise. A lot of times people will look at a price, the price looks good or sounds good, but they don't know those categories or those niches well enough to invest heavily into them. What looks good to one person may not look good to somebody who knows those categories. You've got to know more than the people you are buying from to succeed to grow your business. If you don't know enough to invest in some areas, you could invest a ton of money into categories, niches, or items that just don't carry a value. I hear that constantly. Most of the new sellers, even myself, did that mistake before. The price looked great. The amount of items I could have got out of it was immense. I said, how could I lose? I buy it and end up spending far more time into it, and there just isn't enough value in there. So things like that can set you back months in your business. The money that you lose or the time invested means you're not investing that into items that would sell better or that would get you a better profit. So that is a huge area that will hold you back. It will set you back months, maybe even a year if it's a huge purchase and you didn't investigate enough. So rule of thumb, always know more than those folks that you are dealing with. You're always going to be worried about what the other guy may know or be up on you with. So you've got to be careful with all of that type of stuff. Knowledge aspect wise, knowledge is truly power. It's going to get you the best results. As well as I said, there is going to be a barrier at some point that no matter what you do by yourself, you will not be able to grow your business without help. A lot of people, including ourselves, will look at family members. Our kids work for us. The wife works here, obviously. So do some of their friends. Wherever you can get sources to bring people in that are trustworthy into your business, I would recommend doing that. Other areas, you might look out at the universities and campuses for folks who need some part-time employment. They're not going to be looking for anything super advanced. They're not going to be looking to do it as a business. They're basically going to school to get a career, so college-wise. So those are the types of folks that I would recommend. In most colleges, you can put a board up that you will hire college students. In some cases, you can even get some tax breaks for hiring college students as well. So some of the tax incentives and tax breaks would make it far more valuable to you hiring somebody like that. So those are some of the key factors that you need to know and need to take into account if you want to grow your business. Obviously, the two biggest takeaways are you've got to list more items than you are selling to grow it, and you've got to know more than the folks you are dealing with. You've got to be the king of the data when it comes to whatever areas or niches you are selling in. There's far more to doing this than just looking up something on your phone. You've truly got to know some aspects of a lot of this to be able to do well and to grow your business. The base bottom end here is you've got to improve your ROI, your return on your investments. The higher your ROI, the better you are off. The more knowledge you gain, the higher your ROI will be. And these are the most basic steps as well. If you get these aspects straight, you will be able to grow your business. It will just take you time. Everything takes time. It won't be overnight. This is not in any way a get-rich-quick scheme. It will take you a lot of effort, a lot of investment of your time and your resources. Well, there we have it. That's what I have for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please hit that like button down below. You can also hit the bell icon to be notified if I post new content or go live. Subscribe and tell all your friends.
playing on ColecoVision, Mr. Do and Time Pilot, two of the best new arcade games for the best system made. This is Time Pilot, a battle with aircraft from the past and the future.
Homing missile! Got him! Uh-oh, blue bomber!
And this is Mr. Do. Mow a path to his fruit and start picking, but don't get picked off.
Powerball!
Nice shot. Mr. Do and Time Pilot, now playing on ColecoVision. The best system in town keeps getting better.